Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can sync Mojo Dialer to Google Sheets. This way, as you prospect, as you qualify people on the phone, you can automatically have them added to a Google Sheet so they're always backed up. You have a nice, tidy list of all those contacts, but also it makes it easy to collaborate. You can send that Google Sheet to an ISA or a virtual assistant or a colleague, and that way they have access to those leads that you've selected from Mojo Dialer without having to log into Mojo Dialer and have access to all your stuff in here. You can just hand them that spreadsheet that just gets automatically updated as you continue to add people to a specific group in Mojo. Let me show you what this looks like. So here we are in Mojo Dialer, and the first thing we're going to do is go over to Data and Dialer and go to Groups, and I'm going to create a new group. I'm going to call it Send to Spreadsheet. So now anytime I add somebody to this group, they're automatically going to get added to a spreadsheet, which, like I said, can act as a complete backup, or it can be shared to collaborate with another colleague. Another thing to note here, it's going to sync over every lead you have in Mojo that you add to this group, except contacts that come from the skip tracer or neighborhood search leads you've purchased from Mojo. All the other leads you've purchased from Mojo or uploaded into Mojo will get synced over, just not skip tracer or neighborhood search. So just keep that in mind. If you do want to sync those over, you can click on this help button here, and it gives you the support line for Mojo. You can give them a call and talk to them about enabling that for your account. But by default, they will not go over using this integration. So let's go ahead and set up the integration. I'm going to go back to API Nation and click on Start Syncing. Now I can see all the apps I can automate here at API Nation. I'm going to scroll down to M for Mojo. There it is right here. Click on that. It's going to show me the apps I can specifically automate with Mojo, including Google Sheets. But there's a bunch of other apps, including CRMs, marketing tools. If you want to send your leads from Mojo to any of those, go for it. You can have them sent to your iPhone. You can have them sent to a direct mail app like Mailbox Power. That's a really cool integration, so that you just add somebody to a group in Mojo, they get added to a group in Mailbox Power, and maybe that group is set up to automatically receive a shipment like popcorn, postcard, gift card. Very cool automation you can do there. Let's set up this Google Sheets sync though. Click on that one, and it's going to show you that sync available is Mojo contacts to Google Sheets. So I'm going to activate that. The first step is to sign into my API Nation account. If you don't have an API Nation account, you can click here to create one. They're totally free to create. Or you can sign in with a Google account also. All right, now we're going to connect the two apps. I'm going to hit this big orange connect button under Mojo. And then I'm just going to sign into Mojo, and that makes the connection. Similar thing for Google. I can just hit this big orange connect button and choose the Google account where I want this Google Sheet kept. So keep in mind, the Google Sheet is going to live on the Google Drive of the Google account you're connecting here. You can share that Google Sheet with people from other Google accounts, but that's where you're going to find it. So now we're going to go ahead and configure the sync. The first thing is choosing which group is getting synced to the Google Sheet. So you can sync over multiple groups if you like. We find it's easier to just have that single group that you've set up, like send a spreadsheet. It's very clear what's going to happen when you add it to that group. So we find that's most helpful. And then you can name the Google Sheet that gets created whatever you want, Mojo Leads, or if it's something different, something very clear that you're going to remember. That way you can go ahead and find it in your Google Drive once the sync is up and running. I'm going to hit subscribe, and that takes those settings and creates the workflow for them. A couple other things to consider here. If you want, you can filter exactly who's getting sent over even further. So if you want to filter by state, or if they have an email address, or if they're in a different zip code, you can do that here. These are all the fields available in Mojo for you to filter on. You would just do something like maybe in the notes contains follow up. And that way, if the words follow up appear anywhere in the notes, it'll go ahead and sync it over. For the most part, most people we find that adding it to the group is good enough to trigger it, and that's all they need as a filter. And then come down here to mapping. We're going to send over as much information as possible into that Google Sheet so you can see all the information that is in Mojo that's available to sync out the API is going to get synced into that spreadsheet. I'm going to go ahead and activate this sheet. So there we go. The sync is now up and running. Now when I'm in Mojo and I'm in my calling list, I'm making my calls. Let's say I have a good call with a Glennie and I think, you know what, that was great. I want to send them to the spreadsheet to have them backed up for later, or I want to send them to the spreadsheet that I have shared with my admin and she knows to send this person some champagne or a follow-up gift basket or something like that. You could do that. You just hit send a spreadsheet and that's it. This person is now going to get sent to the spreadsheet that's on Google Drive. Maybe you've shared that spreadsheet with an admin or an assistant or a VA or an ISA. It makes it super easy to share these contacts with your entire team so that they can help you nurture these leads and create more deals. So that's it. That's how you connect Mojo to Google Sheets. You can now use the power of Mojo with the incredible flexibility of Google Sheets to be way more productive, collaborate easier, and make sure all the leads you need are backed up in a second location. If you have any questions or need any assistance setting up this sync, give us a phone call, shoot us an email. We're API Nation, and we're connecting the world's applications.